Hi friends, it's been forever and a day, and I would like to apologize, but I would like to blame, number one, my unborn child for stealing all of my energy. And number two, we just moved into a new house and that stole the rest of the energy that I had. So we can just blame life changes on the fact that I have not talked to you in a hot second. But as I was thinking about how should I make my BookTube second debut, because it's been long enough, I've gotten a few messages on my Instagram asking me questions about which book they should read. Do you like this type of trope? Do you like this subgenre? Etc., etc. However, I want to talk through my opinion on the ranking the best way to read Ruth Ware. I love Ruth Ware. In all of her books that she does, it seems as if she tries different subgenres. So we have some that are just the typical domestic thriller. We have the psychological thrillers. We have the gothic thrillers. We have the locked room. We have the spy kind of espionage. We have survivor thriller now, like a survival thriller. And that's one thing I really like about her is you don't know which one you're going to get. Now, I have my personal favorites of my least favorite to my most favorite Ruth Ware. In my opinion, that is the way that you should read them is what I'm about to show you. However, it truly is just my opinion. It's what I enjoy. It's what I like. Without further ado, don't be mean to me in the comments if I don't like your favorite. Let's start with my least favorite of the Ruth Ware is 0 Days by Ruth Ware. 0 Days is more of that spy kind of compared to like a Harlan Coben type thriller, like an actual thriller. Basically, she and her husband, her name is Jack Cross Jacinta, but Jack and Gabe are hired by different companies to try and hack the company so that way the company can see if they, have a great security system or not. And that's how the book opens out. You are dealing with a lot of grief in here, but you're also just dealing with a lot of like spy, someone's after me, gotta run sort of book. Some people really love that kind of thriller. If you do, then this should be like the number one for you. However, that just isn't my jam. So this one was least favorite, and what if you're reading like Kate, what you should read first. Then after you read 0 Days, I would pick up 1 by 1. Held that real weird. 1 by 1 is more of that locked room thriller, which I thoroughly enjoyed, and I did this one a disservice. This one's on me. I think this one might be a little higher on some other people's. I think it would be higher on mine too if I'd read it correctly, but I did not go into this one with the right expectations of what it actually was. I was let down, and then you know how that goes. This one is more of a locked room thriller. This company goes up to a retreat. It's very cold. That's where that comes from. An avalanche comes, and they're snowed in, and now people are dying. One by one, people are dying. You're trying to figure out who's killing them and why. Maybe I didn't like it because I was expecting a surprise ending, and it wasn't. I think we get a little spoiled with the last minute twist. You won't get that with this, but this is actually a good story, and I think you'd like it. Just, it's my second one to read by her. This one actually is her new one called One Perfect Couple. This comes out next week, so I felt like it was okay to put this one in. But this is her survival thriller. Survival thrillers make me feel anxious. So this one was harder for me personally There also was a diabetic character. I'm a diabetic. Now, one thing I liked about the way she handled it is, the spoiler, the diabetic doesn't die, and normally the diabetics die. I appreciated that she didn't kill off the diabetic. Another trigger for me personally are hurricanes, because I live in the state of Florida. This involves a hurricane. One trope about this that I love, this was supposedly supposed to be a reality show type of story, kind of like Small Game. Small Game by Blair Braverman. I'll pop it up here somewhere. But that book had the kind of trope that I enjoyed. Didn't really enjoy the book, but enjoyed what it was trying to do. This one, it just personally did not hit for me because of the anxiousness I feel for any type of weather or survival stories. If you really like those types of things, this is actually going to be really good for you. The next one is going to be The Death of Mrs. Westaway by, of course, Ruth Ware. Now, The Death of Mrs. Westaway was one of her earlier ones. It might have even been her first one. It was her second one. Anyway, this one is more of a psychological thriller about a girl who is down on her luck, and some wealthy woman dies and puts her in the will, or her name in the will, but it's really not her, but she pretends to be her so that way she can go and get the money for it, but she has to just to fake it with the family, and there's just a lot of secrets, etc., etc. If I had read this earlier in my thriller journey, I would have been way more impressed, but I'm a little bit of a veteran, and it just didn't hit the way that I wanted it to. And we're going to post it here because we still haven't unpacked all of my books, and I don't really know where this one is In a Dark, Dark Wood. And I actually really liked this one, and I think I'm more of an unpopular opinion, at least according to Goodreads. I'm an unpopular opinion, but I actually really liked this one. Hello?
Hello?
Now I'm nervous.
Going upstairs. Don't say anything mine.
So the next one that we have is In a Dark, Dark Wood. And I know that I am a little bit of an unpopular opinion with that one, but I actually really liked it. And I think, again, it's because I read it a little earlier in my thriller journey, or my Ruth Ware journey. I was really impressed. But it had that twist that I needed at that point in my thriller journey. At the end, there was a little bit of a fight, tricking other people, and it genuinely was a lot of fun for me to read at the time. Yeah, it was super creepy, and I loved it. So that would be my next one. Pretend we put it down. We are getting to my final four. I think this is another unpopular opinion. However, I think the next one that you should read is The It Girl by Ruth Ware. If I say by Ruth Ware one more time. The It Girl is a long book. She's 416 pages. She's kind of thick. It follows a past and a present storyline. It follows a group of friends, and they are at school. I think they're in London, and the it girl befriends the girl that no one really thought she'd befriend. Of course, there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of relationships, there's a lot of secrets, and then she ends up dying. We fast forward 20 years in the future, everyone kind of has their own lives, and it gets brought up again. And so now they have to go back to the place that it happened. They have to go back mentally 10, 20 years ago and rehash everything that happened during that fateful night and figure out who killed who. Did she go missing? Is she still alive? Question marks everywhere. I love books like that. I think they're a lot of fun. I finished it within, I think, 2-ish days. So I really enjoyed this story. All right, what are my top 3? The Woman in Cabin 10. The Woman in Cabin 10 did it. Again, it was earlier in my thriller journey, but this one kind of creeped me out at the time, and it just did it for me. Like I just enjoyed reading about this elusive woman on the water. Everyone else around her thought that she was crazy because she kept talking about the woman in cabin 10, and everyone's like, no one's in cabin 10. And I was like, where is this woman in cabin 10? And I was immersed. I was fully involved. The ending was not my favorite. That was okay. I understood the ending. I would have chosen a different one, but the story in and of itself was so much fun. I gotta quit bending over. This belly does not like it. My second to last one, The Lying Game. I have such fond memories of this one because it involves a group of women who were friends back in their childhood, and they go to this house to spend some time together. Of course, there's one kind of mean girl, and there's one that they kind of just brought in, and two were closer. You know, the friendship dynamic that you find with 4 different women. They used to play this game called The Lying Game. The rules are simple. You tell a lie, you stick to your story, and you never ever get caught. They do play the lying game. Those are the rules that they have to stick to. The other girls have to go along with it. This was one of the first books I read that had twist after twist after twist, and then the ending was a twist. I could not believe that I had read so many twists at one time. My mind was floored. This was so fun, and I think you should wait to read it. And my favorite one, if you've done deductive reasoning and you know all of her books, is The Turn of the Key. This is my favorite Ruth Ware. This is my favorite one she's ever written. I will reread it. It was creepy. It gave me chills. Any type of like child in a book, when the child or the children are creepy, I love it. And that's all in here. I wish I could reread it for the first time. To me, this was her best. That is the order in which I think you should read it. Give me 1 second. I will hold them up for you. I hope you can see these. Pretend that In a Dark, Dark Wood is right next to The Death of Mrs. Westaway. But this is the order in which I think you should read them, starting from the first one down here and the last one up here to Read Like Kate. That is a roadmap into what I think her best is and what I think her not so best is. And if you want to read it in that way, to go from least to greatest in my mind, then have at it. I would love to hear if you agree with any part of this in the comments below. If you disagree and you're mean to me, don't do that. I'm pregnant. I will cry. Thank you. And I will see you very soon.